You have no life when you play Reinhardt, and I do mean that literally, because without your team backing you up, it's just shattered shields and dreams. Reinhardt is one of the few heroes in Overwatch where a good chunk of his success is almost entirely determined by complete strangers. If your team follows you, you're an unstoppable medieval bulldozer. If they don't, congratulations, you just spent the last 10 seconds holding up a giant blue rectangle for absolutely nobody. And that's the strange thing about Reinhardt, he's simultaneously one of the strongest and one of the weakest tanks in the game, depending entirely on whether your teammates remember they can shoot through the barrier. Reinhardt's DNA is that he makes space for the team. He pushes forward with minimal risk that he and his team won't be hurt. The massive 1800 hit point shield sounds simple on paper, but it gives his team so much space and leeway to fire back at the enemy without the enemy being able to damage him. He is the anchor for a good brawl composition, as your team can close the distance without melting. Reinhardt doesn't just play his own game, but enables and enhances the entire team. But the issue with Reinhardt and why he can feel frustrating to play, despite his utility and his ability to make space, is that he's heavily reliant on the team to deal most of the damage as he lacks range. So he's reliant on his team knowing how to play the game.
And you know what the sad truth is? Without me, you have no life. And that kills you.
If the team has Stevie Wonder level vision and struggles to see you are holding a giant blue rectangle that they can shoot through,
You have no life.
if they have Stormtrooper aim and can hit the Roadhog 10 meters in front of them,
You have no life.
he makes space and is the best character in Overwatch at pushing forward and making space, but to compensate and make him balance, he can't do damage when the shield is up, and it's up to the team to actually use the space effectively. If the team doesn't push forward with you as they took their "I'm going to keep distance from you" pills this morning, then, with all sincerity,
You have no life.
Reinhardt is arguably the best tank in the game at enhancing the whole team, and at specific times can be just as good, if not better, than support, but that requires a team with an IQ in the triple digits, which can be tricky to come by.
Answer any questions you may have about his illness and... Yes, Sutherland.
Can I catch it?
No, you cannot catch kidney failure.
What makes it even worse is his lack of consistent range damage. There are so many situations where he can't capitalize on the enemy's mistakes, such as a lack of a shield or being out of position. Other tanks and heroes can capitalize on someone out in the open or out in position, and then there's you. The enemy soldier, Genji or Tracer, who took an aggressive angle but is now out of position, would have other heroes start blasting into them. You, on the other hand, due to your lack of range,
You have no life.
heroes who can fly such as Cat, Mercy, Pharah and Juno may be easy pickings for hit scan heroes, whereas your primary fire is practically useless, which means, in practice,
You have no life.
any hero on any sort of high ground may be bad for other heroes, but it's 10 times worse for Reinhardt, which would equate to... what was it again? The words were escaping me.
You have no life.
Whilst the other heroes can punish mistakes instantly, you have to walk over there first, and that gives the enemy ample opportunity to escape and try again. Orisa. Just... Orisa.
You have no life.
His lack of consistent range compounds with how waiting for his cooldown and resources to regenerate makes him even more vulnerable than other heroes. A Roadhog without a hook and heal can still do damage via his scrap gun. Zarya, if she has charge, can still melt enemies up to medium range. Pharah's fuel recharges relatively quickly, so she can re-enter the skies relatively fast. But with Reinhardt, it's a different story. When your shield breaks, you have to wait for what feels like a millennium for it to recharge, and since he lacks consistent range damage in that time,
You have no life.
you especially have no life if you're out in the open. When the shield is broken, the game keeps on going, but you don't.
Hey, knock it off! There's a kid back there!
I'm in danger.
But with all that being said, why do I still keep on playing him, and why does he feel amazing to play? This may have been intentional on Blizzard's part, but there's nothing more satisfying than landing your fire strike and your hammer on multiple enemies simultaneously. Focusing on the fire strike, you'd be surprised at how often enemies don't dodge the attack. And since it hits for 100 damage, pair Reinhardt with a hero with consistent damage, and then you'll drop enemies real fast. But the hammer, oh boy, the hammer.
Oh, fuck yourself, man. Think you're better than me.
I am better than you.
You're
Bulldozing 3 or more enemies with the rocket hammer cannot be any more fun. Also, you have to take into consideration that this is guaranteed damage. Whilst there are other things that have higher DPS, like landing headshots with Sojourn, jumping at grenades, Bastion and Assault Mode, Hanzo arrows, and so forth, they require good aim, so every shot won't land. Reinhardt doesn't need to aim, meaning you get guaranteed damage, a relatively high DPS, and being able to damage multiple enemies. All of these reasons compound to make swinging the hammer some of the most fun you can have when playing Overwatch. Furthermore, while the shield can stop most attacks in the game, it ain't stopping the hammer, meaning your potential damage when attacking multiple enemies is even higher. Under the right circumstances, you can get the best of both worlds, satisfying and effective.
Oh my god, that's substantial! Yeah! That was strangely satisfying.
Roadworks.
Also, take this into consideration. Humans are creatures of habit and are often attracted to things which are big and obvious. In this case, despite having better targets to shoot at, a giant red rectangle that takes up half their screen draws a lot of attention, so that they will be enticed to shoot it. There are other things to shoot at, but since it's massive and anything but subtle, and they are highly unlikely to miss, the enemy team gravitates to shoot it. But that means their attention is preoccupied with the man with the rocket hammer, which is perfect for flankers to go in for the kill. But here's the real reason why Reinhardt can be deadly in the right hands and if the team is huddled around you. He dismantles poke comps. Brawl comps naturally struggle against poke comps, but even the best Widows, Hanzos, and Cassidy's struggle with Reinhardt's shield. Other Brawl tanks such as Junker Queen and Ramattra would have their heads blown off over and over again, but Reinhardt can take his shield and... so long as the team is huddled around the shield, Reinhardt is the one who can say,
You have no life.
and that's what makes him deadly as he goes against the grain. A good poke comp beats a good brawl comp, but Reinhardt is a hitscan's worst nightmare. There's also something absolutely undeniable about the rocket hammer. Whilst it has no range, it provides consistency in chaos, as I've called it. During messy teamfights, where everyone's mashing Q, E, and whatever button they've assigned to their weapons, Reinhardt's consistent close-range damage can help provide a semblance of balance and order, as he doesn't require aiming. In the heat of the moment, it can be surprisingly difficult to land your shots, but for the rocket hammer, so as long as you're close... When you're in close with Reinhardt, you can have the best of both worlds, consistent and high damage per second. It's just getting in close. That's the real question when playing him. And in fact, I dare say that's the win condition when playing Reinhardt. Can you get in close without taking too much damage to your shield and health bar? If you take too much barrier and health damage,
You have no life.
you won't be able to survive an extended firefight as you lack barrier health to mitigate damage and make space, but with good positioning, timing, fire strike use, and your team backing you up, you can close the distance and you can have a goddamn field day with that big old hammer of yours. Reinhardt is one of the best tanks in Overwatch, but only if your team knows how to play with him. And if they don't, well, you know the rest. This is Zach, not Zach, signing off. Please remember to like, favorite, comment, and subscribe.